Alright, whenever I'm ready. Hey, what's going on everybody? Nick here, Freedom Van Gogh. Today I'm going to show you how to install the Airtronic S2D2L diesel seat heater. Well, cab heater. Let's restart. Restart. Boop. Hey, what's going on everybody? Nick here with Freedom Van Gogh, and today I'm going to show you how to install the Airtronic S2D2L diesel cab heater. It's about a 15 amp hour startup, and then it trickles between 2 and 5 amp hours overnight when running. We're going to start with disconnecting the battery, which is located under the driver's footwell area. So let's get started. Alright, step 1 is to disconnect the ground terminal of the battery, which is located over there. The two tools you should need, and you will need, is a T30 and a T20. Right here, screwdriver is the best way to go. You don't need ratchets or anything like that, so let's go. So right now, these are the two T20 screws. Got to remove this small little cover here. Next step is removing the matted cover. The next, there are 4 T30s. You unscrew every single one of them. You do not have to fully remove. This panel right here slides backwards. Get it just loose enough to where you have some play, and it should slide. Once that is removed, this is your ground side terminal. Obviously, this is red. Now I already do have this disconnected for another build, part of the build on this van. So you will need one 10mm socket with a ratchet, or if you have the screwdriver sockets. Once that is complete, come over here just onto this side of the driver's seat. This little fuse box. Just take this panel off and you find fuse 32. And just remove it by fingers. Now we're ready to disassemble these seats and take them out of the van. Alright, so step 2, after disconnecting the ground side of the battery, we're going to go ahead and remove the seats. Now, why did we remove the ground terminal of the battery? Well, when you got to remove the seats, there is 2 airbag wires, one on each seat. If you do not disconnect the ground battery and remove fuse 32, it will definitely throw an airbag light for the 2019 and newer Sprinter vans. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to take these 2 seats out, and I can show you guys the airbag yellow wires under the seat and how to disconnect them. There's 4 E12 torque bolts holding down the frame of the seat. I'm using a ratchet and a short socket. Very simple, very easy to get to. The seat just about fully removed. This is the airbag sensing wire. There's 2 little tabs and you just squeeze them together and it slides right out. Tuck this back inside for now so it's out of the way. It doesn't get damaged. Now the 2 seats are removed. The rest of the floor matting is removed as well. The next step is to actually take the heater and install it under the seat. So with the heater installation, you can see how it's oval shaped as well as the grommet that actually goes with it. I removed this and there is a spot just inside under this seat that is oval shaped. And this will be my template, as well as some paint to help me make holes so I know exactly where to drill and there's no mishaps. So let's get started. So the next step, now that we have our template sprayed and it has dried, the next step is we got to drill each and every single one of these holes. The bigger holes are 1 inch. The one fuel line hole is a 6 30-seconds, and the 4 bolt holes are 9 30-seconds. Let's get started. Our holes are drilled out. I went ahead, we're going to re-stick the rubber grommet back on there. Let's make sure that it's decently waterproofed, up to 100%. The glue has dried. Next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to install this in there, and the kit will come with 4 10mm nuts as well as 4 washers, which will go underneath. We'll go ahead and tighten that down.
Ready when you are.
Oh, it's on. All right, so now that we have the heater installed, secured, and fastened in its spot, what I like to do next is drill the hole out for the heater hose. This is a 2 5/8 inch hole saw bit, and where I'm going to drill is on the back side of the seat, up kind of high and towards the center of the 2 seats so that the heat is directionally facing the rear. Good. So now that we have the hole cut out, go ahead and you want to put the rust preventative paint on there. Let that dry. Next step is to actually install the vent into the hole. Notice there's no play. And then it comes with 3 self-tapping screws. And there's 3 holes, and you just mount it to it. Now all I gotta do is stick this hose on. Did you want to talk about this or? All right, so now that our vent hole is installed, so is the heater. You can go ahead and choose to install this hose now. It's kind of self-explanatory. There's 2 screw clamps. One goes on one side, and obviously the other one goes on the other. I like to do this now and get it out of the way before I get into the wiring and going under the van. So the next step, this is the fuel pump wire harness. At this end is already crimped and ready to go. It connects into the main harness for this. The other side you will have to pin. It does come with the connector and the pins for it. I like to go ahead and get this out of the way. There is 1 extra grommet in here, and I take a 7 30-seconds drill bit, just big enough to get this in there. It's a rubber grommet. It'll kind of fuse back. It's a nice tight hole. It's just under the seat, located right behind the heater, so there is some space. And what we're going to do is when we drill the hole, we'll feed it up through and pull any excess slack to that side of the vehicle. Alright, now that I have the fuel pump wire routed, just drop down under the van, I'm going to go ahead and start on the main harness. You could see that I've taken all of the floor matting out. What we're going to do is we do have to route 1 wire to the controller unit,
which is this. Particularly in our installation, the controller is going to be mounted on the driver's seat side. There's two ways that you can wire this. Now, we are going to just use this power and ground wire because they're having their own power source that's going to be coming from the rear. The power and ground will actually be ran through this here B pillar under the seat, connected to this, so we will not use this harness. This harness is a diagnostic harness. It's up to you to keep it on or not. We cut it off. Now, if you're not going to use an extra power source, there is ways to route it and mount it to the factory battery power source. All you need is a power and ground, and it does come with its own power fuse and everything like that. All you got to do is ground it out. There is fuses and other instructions for that. So go ahead and cut this and get started. Alright, so now that the wire has been routed from that side to this side, the controller wire on the end of it, it does need to be pinned. You pin all four of these wires, and what it will do is it's actually going to go into the main harness of the heater itself, and then you have this connector here that you have to route all the pins through. So, next step in pinning the process, you must remove this little rubber grommet. It goes in the back side of the connector, and it actually helps prevent water as well as stabilizing the wires, and it just goes through like that. Not very difficult. Make sure that all the wires are in their correct positioning so that whenever it connects to the other side, they will connect perfectly. Make sure that you have the right side up so that it goes right in. These pins just click in. Click. Once you hear it click, it's in. You can pull on it if you want. Now that it's in, slide this grommet back down. Take a flathead. Now, just on the other side, the pins are going to be slightly loose. So you need a little screwdriver, anything you can get in there, and make sure the pins are lined up. You'll see little grooves inside. And just make sure they're positioned properly, and then this will verify and secure them in their place to where they can't move. Stick that guy in there like that. Really right now? Alright, cut. Now I gotta find that. Alright, are you filming? Alright, so it's going to look like this. You'll see a little tab hanging out. Just push it in there until it pops and you're good to go. And then once that's done, that's done. The other side of the harness, this will be connected to the other side of the fuel pump wire. This is the next on the list to pin. So here we go. It comes with its little waterproof grommets. You just slide those on first. You can get an idea of how that goes. And you actually use the exact same crimpers as you used last time and only run 2 wires. Alright, now that both connectors have been pinned and connected, I went ahead and zip tied them kind of nice and neatly together. I'm just going to lay this in there for now. This is the power and ground wire. They're still not ready yet. I'm just going to lay those in there, and we're going to move on to the controller unit. I'm going to go through how to install this and which connector actually goes to it. So let's go. If I can get the sticker off. Alright, so that's just a template, so I can drill these holes. Alright, so now that everything up top is completed, the next step is running the intake and exhaust hoses. You do have a muffler and filter for the exhaust must be installed. You will not use this whole thing in one complete length. You will be cutting it probably 3/4 of the way wherever you can find to put this. I'll show you where I install them. It's what works for best. And like I said, this is the exhaust, this is intake, and if you're under the vehicle, the intake is the closest to the front of the vehicle, the exhaust is closest to the rear. So now that I have the exhaust and the intake hoses mounted to the heater, you form fit your exhaust hose. The pieces that you'll need will be 2 clamps. This is a clamp that's going to hold the hose on this side, as well as this bracket that is going to mount to the exhaust itself. And I'll show you where they go. Alright, now that we have the exhaust and the intake hoses ran and set into the side of the vehicle, the next step is running the fuel line and the wire for the fuel pump itself. They're both going to start over here where the heater is, and we're going to route them up over the exhaust drive shaft and mount it in secure spots. It does come with some rubber hoses. It comes with 4 hoses, and there looks to be about 10 clamps, more than plenty that you'll need. The clamp itself is a Phillips head or a 7mm socket, whichever you choose. So let's get that going. right. I'm gonna go underneath, connect this to the underside of the heater. All right, now that the fuel line is clamped and properly secured to the bottom of the heater, the fuel line and the fuel pump wire have been routed across the other side. The last step to really do is your fuel pumps need to be connected, and it comes with its own rubber grommet case. Now this connector here goes into the factory fuel tank line. There's a spare line, there's a little connector that you take off and you route this onto it. It comes with its own grommet. Just goes in like that, and you put a clamp on this end. And you use probably about 3 more clamps to get everything together, and you can trim the hose as well as the wire for the fuel pump. Yeah, that's it. All right, now that we're all finished up, everything's wired, everything has been plumbed, everything is zip tied, secured properly. All that's left to do is actually function test your heater. When you get to that point, you just go over there, hit the button, spin a few knobs. It'll pretty much show you exactly what you need. If you have any questions, you can contact us. You got Grant, you got Chad, and you got Chris at freedomvango.com. Good luck.